Hey, what is up, Internet? This is Kyle with Slapshot Toys doing another sketch hunting video. Now, this weekend I was able to attend C2E2 on Saturday only up in Chicago. Now, this was an extremely last-minute planned trip, so I was only able to make it Saturday because I had to work on Friday and then had plans on Sunday in the morning that I couldn't get out of. So we actually made it a one-day trip. A buddy of mine and me were kind of talking after Gym City, like, well, what con are we going to go to next? Kind of looking at area cons. We're like, well, Chicago's not that far. Looked at some tickets, and they really were pretty reasonable. We're like, let's go up Saturday. So we left at like 5:30 in the morning yesterday, drove up, made Chicago their time since there's an hour difference. We left Cincinnati about 5:30. Got up to Chicago about, I don't know, a little bit after 9 their time, so a little bit after 10 after our time. About a 4.5 hour drive, not too bad. Got our tickets, went into the show, and I'll tell you what, if you haven't been to that show, that was my first time going to C2E2. It's overwhelming. The amount of people is just crazy. Really well run, very organized. I mean, there were times where it's hard to move through aisles and things like that. But no, great show. Had an absolute phenomenal experience. Hopefully next year I can actually do it right, get hotel rooms, stay up there for the whole weekend. There's so many great artists and comic creators up there. Spent our entire time in Artist Alley. I think I went to the Image booth and the Marvel booth just to kind of check it out. Image had an exclusive cover for a new book called Redneck, but unfortunately they already all sold out of it, so I wasn't able to get it. But other than those two booths, didn't do any vendors, didn't do any toy hunting, didn't look at any hot toys or anything like that, just all in Artist Alley, and man, was it amazing. Just a huge show, but I just wanted to kind of do another little sketch video. I did get a couple of sketches, got an original page, and got a ton of stuff signed, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little look into my C2E2 Saturday. So kind of funny story, so we get all the way up to Chicago, and then I get my GoPro out to start filming because there's some amazing cosplay, just kind of getting an overall sense of the whole kind of just massiveness of the crowd. And so I get my GoPro out, I turn it on, and I hit record, and the little warning message comes up, no SD card. So I drove all the way up to Chicago thinking I had my GoPro ready to go, and we're gonna get this amazing footage. So in all actuality, I have absolutely no footage. The only things that I have are some photos on my phone, and those really aren't that many because most of the time I was trying to get autographs and sketches and things like that. So I didn't really do a whole lot of footage, so I'm sorry there's not going to be anything in this video, so just know that kind of going into it. But that was kind of a funny story that I get all the way up there, hit the record button, and no SD card. So that really kind of sucked. First up, one of the main reasons I wanted to go was Rob Guillory was going to be there. I know in my previous video I did talk about Rob quite a bit in his series Chew. One of my favorite series, he was there, so I did get him to sign, as you can see here, my trades of Chew. And I also bought an original page from him, which I'll show you guys in just a little bit. But it was amazing getting to talk to him, talk about the book. When I finally made it to his table, there was no one really there, so I got to talk to him for about 30 minutes, and that was flat out awesome. And he was nice enough to sign everything, bought the original page, and it was just a fantastic time meeting Rob. The next artist I really wanted to meet was Jason Aaron. Aaron's all over the place. He works Star Wars, Southern Bastards, all sorts of crazy stuff. So I actually got him to sign my Star Wars #1. He personalized it there for me, which I thought was really cool. I'm a really big Southern Bastards fan, so I really wanted to get Jason Aaron and Latour's signature on my trades, which I was able to get from both of them, and I thought it was pretty cool. So Jason Latour is the artist, and he actually did a little quick sketch of Coach on my Volume 2, and then Aaron did a nice little roll tide with his autograph on his part, and then actually Latour did a Earl Tubb on Volumes 1 and 3, which I thought was really cool of him. I was also able to find this really cool April Fool's Day cover that Image did with I Hate Fairyland and Southern Bastards, like little crossover mix. I was able to find this just this last week when it came out, since this is an actual issue of I Hate Fairyland. Scotty Young was there, so I was actually able to get Scotty to sign it, as well as both Jason Aaron and Latour, and I just thought that was an awesome piece to have, since it's kind of a little joke cover, and it was kind of hard to find. But since I had both the creator Fairyland and Southern Bastards, I thought this was awesome getting all of it signed. And I thought this was one really cool signature. Jason Aaron, again, he does a book called The Goddamned. It's like basically a retelling of Cain, the Abel and Cain biblical story. And so I was telling him how much I really enjoyed it, and this is actually how he signed it for me. So for Kyle, see you in hell. And I thought that was just absolutely awesome. I thought that was probably one of the coolest signatures I got, just because of how I personalized it. I just thought, yeah, that's awesome that he signs it that way. That was really cool. Was also able to meet Ryan Otley at the show, and I had him sign a copy of Invincible. I love this cover, so I was really happy he was able to sign that. And then also one of my favorite books is Grizzly Shark, and he was able to sign my trade of that. This is an amazing book. It's stupid. It makes no sense. It's just amazing. Check it out. It's some of Otley's best work. If you like Invincible, if you like the violence of Invincible, check out Grizzly Shark. You won't be disappointed. Declan Shavley was also at the show, and I was actually able to get him. He's been doing the backups and a couple covers for All-Star Batman, so I got him to be able to sign #1 and #2. And then also Jordi Belair, the colors for All-Star Batman, was also there, so she signed these as well. She was a ton of fun to talk to. She has to ask me about the Batman books because she also does the coloring for the new Tom King Batman run. She was really cool, just talking in and out about if I enjoyed the run, some of the kind of issues she had. It was just really cool, like really down to earth. Her line was a little bit long. She talked to everybody, but I love that. Like I love that she was personable. She really made you feel like she was thankful that you were getting things signed. And because they also work, Declan and Jordi also work on Injection together, so I got them to sign my trade of Injection. So that was really cool. And then Jordi, like I said, she does work on the Tom King Batman, so she was nice enough to also sign my #1 issues of that. Also had the pleasure of meeting Charles Soule at the show, and he was cool enough. He did sign the Poe Dameron #1, his Daredevil run number I think 15, and then his creator-owned Curse Words. So I was able to get him and the artist Ryan Brown, and Brown's his signature is really interesting. I thought that was kind of cool. And then Charles, did a little "You're in Trouble Now" with the little play on urine there. I thought that was funny. And then Scotty Young did this cover as well, so I had him sign this as well. And the last creator I was able to get autographs from, that was one of the main reasons I went to the show, was for James Tynion IV. He's done basically the current run of Detective Batman, and then he also did the original Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover. So I actually got both my copies of #1, both variant covers that I had signed for Ninja Turtles Batman, as well as a couple issues of the current Detective Comics run. I'm really loving this run, so it was really cool to get to kind of talk to him. His line was pretty long, so I didn't really get to say a whole lot to him, just told him how much I enjoyed Detective in the current run and how much I really like this Batman Ninja Turtle crossover. It's fantastic. But overall, as far as the signatures and all that, it was a fantastic show. I got just about everybody I wanted. The only two people I wasn't able to get that I was really hoping to meet was Chip Zdarsky, who does Sex Criminals. That's a fantastic book. And I was really wanting to get a sketch from him as well, but he was doing them while you wait, and like the line was like an hour and a half every single time I went over there. And I just being there for only a couple hours with driving back, I didn't want to be too tired driving back, so we left pretty early in the day. But yeah, so I didn't really want to waste that much time in line for one person, but I would have loved to meet him. Hopefully he'll be in a con somewhere around here fairly soon. I'll be able to actually meet him and get some books signed. And then Karen Gillan, Wicked and Divine, he did Vader. His line was always extremely long as well, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get my Wicked Divine copy or my Vader signed. Those would have been awesome, but yeah, no, I got some amazing autographs, but I did get some sketches, so let's go ahead and show those off right now. First up on the sketches, this is actually something I commissioned at Gym City Comic Con, but unfortunately I wasn't able to make it up Sunday, so I saw Sean Forney was actually going to be up at C2E2. So I told him, you know what, just go ahead, just work on it at your own pace, and I'll pick it up at C2. And he actually just, nailed this Daredevil out of the park. So yeah, this was all ready to be picked up. Just had to walk over to his booth. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. It's the second time I've tried to pick something up from him. He hasn't been there, so I can't thank him in person. But his wife who's super awesome, was nice enough to go ahead and get it out for me, and went ahead and gave it to me. This is fantastic. I can't thank Sean enough. I love his art, and I think he just absolutely nailed this Daredevil. All right, the next sketch I was able to get, now I've talked about him in my previous video, is Brian Level. Probably every video I do like this is if he's at the show, there's going to be a sketch from him. So he was doing $50 30-minute sketches. So he did this in 30 minutes. Actually, I think it may have taken him like 35 or 40, maybe give me a little bit extra. But yeah, no, he was doing these in 30 minutes, and it's just unreal. This is Maria from Deadly Class, which is my absolute favorite comic. And she's one of my favorite characters. And since he actually did the variant cover, I knew he would knock it out of the park. And I thought this just came out wonderful with her fans. And then like the Day of the Dead skull makeup. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. I love his inking work. Like I said, I know I said it all in my last video. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite artist. He's just phenomenal. Every show, every video I do will more than likely have a sketch from him. And last but not least, pretty much the reason I wanted to go to C2E2 and the reason I wanted to go down to Lexington, Rob Guillory, the artist for True, is going to be down there. Now True is also one of my probably top 3 books. Absolutely love it. And one of my favorite pages was from issue 12, and that was page 9. And luckily I contacted Rob actually a little bit ago and asked if he still had the page. He did. We worked out the price and everything like that. I prepaid and then picked it up at the show. But it was an absolute pleasure getting to meet Rob, like I said at the beginning, and just being able to talk to him about Chew. This is Appleby, Tony, and then I just love this page because it's one of the few I remember when I first started reading the series. This is, I think, in volume 2 of the trades, issue 12, like I said. But it's just this scene where once I read it, I laughed hysterically at this page, and each time I go back and reread the series, I just chuckle every single time I read it. And the page has always stuck with me, and it was one of those ones that I just knew if it ever came up to be bought, it'd be one I had to buy, especially just wanting an original piece of Chew. So I'm super excited I was able to get it, and I was talking to Rob, he said this is one of his most favorite pages he's drawn. So I thought that was really cool, and he was happy this was going to a true fan, and not just being flipped or anything crazy like that. But I'm super excited to be able to get an original page from Chew. That's going up on my wall. The second I get done with this video, it's going into framing up. So that was absolutely unbelievable to be able to get. I can't thank Rob enough for being nice enough to talk to me. I think almost a half an hour we talked. That was really cool. But yeah, that's my C2E2 haul. Fantastic show. Highly recommend it. It's massive. Like I said, I'm used to Cincinnati, Lexington, those type of conventions where maybe we get 30,000, maybe 35. And then the last one I went to, I think, was like 9, like maybe. So yeah, I'm used to very small conventions, and this was not a small convention. It was really cool. Like I said, we spent all of our time in Irish Alley. Didn't really get into the vendors. The one time we kind of tried, it was just way too packed. You couldn't really move there. But it didn't it was overly crowded, but it didn't necessarily always feel that way. I was able to get almost all the signatures I wanted. All the lines were, I think the most was a half an hour, and that's for Jason Latour, and that's because he took a bathroom break in the middle of it. Not a big deal at all. So that's not a bad line, like in my mind at all. But yeah, no, fantastic show, really well organized. Hopefully next year I can do the whole thing, and they have just as amazing guests as they did this year. The fans were awesome. Talked to quite a few. I was standing in line. Just a fantastic overall experience. So yeah, if you're in the Chicago area, make sure you check out that show. It's one of those things, just go once just to say you've been. I'm sure it's nothing like San Diego or anything like that, but for me it was unbelievably awesome. An amazing experience, and I can't wait to go back again. So I think that's going to do it for me. I know I don't have any cons up until September. Then I'll have the Cincinnati one, the Cincinnati Expo. So hopefully, I know Greg Capullo is going to be there. Hopefully they get some really good guests lined up. I know they're but they're competing with Baltimore Comic-Con, who's the exact same weekend, and that one already has some amazing lineup. But yeah, so hopefully they get some really cool guests, and I'll have some really cool sketches and stuff to show you there. Should have a couple more Hot Toys coming around that same time. I don't know how many more videos I'll have for the next couple months, just because I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of everything I've kind of had my eye on is all later in the year releases. But other than that, it's a fantastic show. Really enjoying doing these videos. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these videos. If you guys want to talk sketches, original art, anything like that, happy to talk anything comics, anything figures. So yeah, so let me know in the comments what you guys think. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.